What's up, everybody? This is Emmanuel live at South by Southwest EDU where Philly goes to college, and I'm here with Mia Miller.
Yeah, so hi, my name is Mia. I am from New Braunfels, Texas. And a little bit about our session, it was about how to support LGBTQ plus youth during challenging times.
Yeah, this is really awesome. We did a little research on you. I think you got a lot of cool things going on, and just
Yeah.
what you represent and how you're, fighting a good fight for people.
Yes.
Before we get into that, I definitely want to talk about your college background.
Yes.
Let's dig into that a little bit. So, what school did you go to? What was your major?
Oh, so I was a high school student, and I'm currently doing a gap year right now.
Okay, okay.
Right now, I'm looking at University of Washington.
Okay.
I'm looking at Smith, Bryn Mawr, and some other schools sprinkled in there.
Okay, cool. You said Bryn Mawr and Philly?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. You got to come down to Philly. Philly goes got to represent. All right, great. So you're taking a gap year. Talk to people about the gap year and what has it allowed you to do for high school students out there who may be considering doing the same thing.
Yeah, so my gap year has definitely been an experience. I've definitely been able to focus more on my activism that I otherwise wouldn't have had if I went straight to school. I've also been able to focus more just like on my mental health and just more on myself before I go into college, which has definitely been very crucial. So that way, I have a deeper sense of self before I move on to this new chapter of my life.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And right now, so still on your forefront is the aspiration to go to school.
Yes.
And what does college mean to you? Like, why is that still the aspiration, given all the work you're doing? You're doing some incredible work. You could just chalk it and I'm just going to keep fighting the fight.
Yeah.
But what's making you still go for it?
Yeah, for me, I feel like it opens up a door of like new opportunities that I otherwise wouldn't have been able to. For me, it's communicating and being in community with people from all over the world, all over the country, from different backgrounds and experiences, and just learning just different experiences like in person, I think is such a huge opportunity that I would get in college that I otherwise wouldn't have been afforded to if I didn't go.
Right. Okay. And let's dig into some of what you did in the panel and just your history overall, like your activism. What activated the activism in you?
Activated the activism.
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, just being black in Texas.
Yeah. I
Activated
speak
the
on it.
activism, yeah. I remember when I was in elementary school and I wore like these like Afro puffs and I was so excited and I had like little beads and braids and there was like a woman who came up to me and she just like touched my hair without permission. And so I remember telling like my mom, so it was kind of weird and like everybody was just acting like it was fine and I was like, like this happened to me and she was like, no, like your hair is like super special to you and like you shouldn't like, people shouldn't just come up to you and just touch your hair. And so I remember that the next day she got me a shirt to wear that said, no, you cannot touch my hair. And it had like an Afro puff and I was so proud to wear it. And I got a bunch of compliments, but that's really what started my activism journey is just making sure that, young African-American girls, black people feel confident in themselves and don't have to, shy away from their blackness because black is beautiful. So.
For the student out there has the aspirations such as yourself, what are some things they should think about? Like, what kind of groups could they join? What kind of, what should they be doing now to kind of, to get active, so to speak?
I would just find things that you are excited about, that get you excited. Like for me, theater got me really excited, and through theater, I was able to find my community and different people, and then from there, I was able to branch out to different things.
Wow.
So yeah, I would just say find things that get you excited, that get you hyped up, and from there, you kind of find your niche, or you kind of find things that you can do activism for.
Wow, and we're still riffing on the act. I like what you said. So like, theater got you in there.
Yep.
Those are things like for those people out there that are like, man, I really like to do this or that, but I'm not sure and I don't know how to fight. That makes sense. I seen something. You were a part of the Boy Scout?
I was.
Okay, wait. Help us understand how you go from theater to Boy Scout to activism. Like, break that down for us.
So I was a Girl Scout for a long time. My brother also did Boy Scouts, but every time he came back, he was like, oh my gosh, I learned how to make like a fire, and like he got to go camping and backpacking, and I was like, that seems really cool. I want to do that.
Wow.
So in 2019, they allowed girls to join Boy Scouts, and there's a lot of people who were like, I don't think that girls can join Boy Scouts. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it for spite.
Right.
I had no idea how to camp. I didn't consider myself an outdoorsy person, but I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna just take the opportunity and do it. So I founded the first all-female BSA troop in New Braunfels, which was definitely an experience because there's people who are like, I don't think girls will be able to do this, or the activities aren't modified for women, or just silly things like that. But we still were able to do it. And it was definitely like a super cool experience too, because again, I was able to learn how to make fires, but not only just through the hard skills that I learned, but the soft skills too. So just learning how to be a leader. We had to learn how to like plan like the camp outs and different things like that. So I had to learn how to navigate how to lead like this group of women. And it was definitely a very cool experience. And again, I was able to make it all the way up to Life Scout. I wasn't able to do Eagle Scout because I aged out, so still sad about that. But I was able to accomplish a lot through there.
Yeah, I mean, jumping through the ranks, being who you are, representing how you're representing, that's obviously like something wild to undergo.
Yes.
Do you get what I mean? And I'm sure that's the journey for a lot of the folks that you're standing up for, not only just people of color, but those in the LGBTQ community. I would love for you to give some insight to students who may feel like, I can't do that, or I'm too scared to do that. What would you say to them? Like, you know, what are some first steps or something? Help them break the barrier. What you think? What are you thinking when I say that?
I mean, that used to be me too. I used to be super scared of trying new things. I like to just stay in things that I was really successful in and not branch out. But again, like as cliche as it sounds, I would just say just jump in and do it. Sometimes sometimes it helps to have a plan. So I'll just kind of talk to the people who are doing these new things and just ask about their experience. So that way I'm kind of prepared and kind of know what I'm getting into. But I would just say just do it. Just start it. There's people who want to help you to be able to do these different new things. I remember, like, you know, I mentioned theater before, but before I did like theater, I had like no idea like what theater was. Like I didn't know what it was. But the people who were doing theater seemed really cool. So I was like, you know what, I'll just ask them about their experience. And then when they told me about their experience, I was like, okay, this is something I might want to try out. So I went to a couple of practices, and then before you know it, I was starring in like a play. So, you know, I would just say, just talk to the people. Usually they're super friendly, and try to get that experience. So then when you're going into it, it's not as scary.
Right. You know, and then, you know, with all of that you said, I keep hearing community,
Yes.
building community, fostering relationships.
Yes.
How important is that for the average high school student right now? Like some people might be introverted and be like, I don't want to, you know, anxiety. There's a lot of things, a lot of judgment, preconceived notions. What could you say to that for the student out there that's like,
I mean, I'm also an introvert too, so I get it. I can't stress enough though how important though community is, whether that might be like an online community too, even through Instagram, or just I can't stress enough how important community is. I feel like especially like right now there's such an emphasis on just kind of like being independent and just kind of doing everything yourself. But when we are like that, you're super susceptible to burnout and just kind of being in this bad headspace. So when you have community, you have people who are able to fill your cup and are able to kind of help lessen the load for you. So I would just say just start that first initial conversation, whether that's reaching out through text or like if it's a person in your class, just kind of talking with them or say, hey, do you want to like study for this session? And through that, it might foster friendship. So I would just stress just taking that important step. I know it seems super scary, especially in high school, but once you do take that step, then you won't regret it. It's going to be so amazing. And again, like friends come and go in high school, but it's just super important to know that like you will find your community, you will find those people, even if it might take you a little bit longer. And once you do find those people, it'll be really amazing for you because you'll have that support system in place.
That's true. Part of your session, I think it's speaking about like hope and
Mhm.
helping students find hope in this current state and how
Mhm.
things are going.
Mhm.
There's a quote by Harvey Milk. It says,
Mhm.
um, "You've got to give them hope."
Yes.
What does that mean to you? How can students help their LGBTQ friends feel hopeful at school? Obviously, we
Mhm.
don't want to teach nobody; they should know that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
still, at the end of the day, like
Yes.
for the average student,
Mhm.
just finding balance and all that and finding hope.
Mhm.
What would you say to that?
Mhm. Simply, I would just say find joy. I feel like
Mm,
joy is hope,
mm,
whether that's through dance, whether that's through just taking a walk outside, whether
mm,
that's simply just hanging out with friends.
mm,
There's so much power in joy, especially right now where there's people who don't want us to feel joy. When
mm.
you're like, hey, I'm showing up as me, I'm showing up authentically as
Right,
me. Um, that just brings so much power. And again, I'm going to bring back the point of community.
right, right, right.
Community helps
Mm,
us feel joy with each other and just being in community with each other and feeling that. And it could be something super simple too. Like it could just be like drawing, it could be just listening to music, but just keeping that spark alive, I feel like is so important, especially now.
right. And you mentioned taking a gap year.
Mm-hmm.
We just touched on hope.
Mm-hmm.
For those people that are thinking about the future,
Mm-hmm.
what advice would you give them just to, hey, look, don't be nervous. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be all right. Because
Mm-hmm.
you're living it. You're walking in it. You're like the epitome of what it looks like to just push past the nervousness.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Well, it might not say right now, but I am actually like a very nervous person. I'm always kind of looking towards the future,
Right.
and I'm always like have kind of like a little bit of a fear of the future. Always like to have
Mm,
a plan.
mm,
But honestly, for me, I would just say just stay in the present moment. I
mm,
know, especially when I was in high school, like my senior year, I was always looking like towards like college applications that are super important, but I wasn't taking time to have being present in the present
right,
moment.
right, right.
So I would just say, yeah, enjoy the road. I know a lot of people have said that, but it really is really good advice to just enjoy the road,
Mm,
to enjoy the friendships, to enjoy the journey, and those opportunities will come.
mm.
You don't have to always worry about like what's gonna happen in the future. Just enjoy the present moment, and the opportunities will find you.
That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of opportunities, it seems like a lot of opportunities are coming your way. Seems like you're manifesting a lot of things.
Yeah.
Um, how do you find balance in all of it?
Yes.
Between your hobbies,
Mm-hmm.
between theater, between
Mm-hmm.
Boy Scouts,
Mm-hmm.
activism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how you find balance?
I always try to look for the intersections between them. So, like for example, like I like to do dance, but I also love my activism too. So I
Mm,
try to find like dance activism. So
mm,
sometimes like I'll do like different like plays or like performances that bring in my activism, whether that's just me dancing in like a black body, and that's activism too, because
mm,
I'm just showing the joy of being black.
mm,
So I just try to find the intersections. I know, like for example, Boy Scouts again. I tried to find like the intersection of Boy Scouts and activism through like advocating for the acceptance of women in Boy Scouts, because
right,
there was
right,
a lot of gender discrimination there.
right, right.
So just showing that, hey, I'm a girl who's doing traditionally male activities, whatever that means, and I'm here and I'm thriving and I'm having joy in it. That shows activism too. So
Mm,
just trying to find the intersections between them, and then also making sure to take time for yourself too, because
right,
I feel
right,
like a lot of the times we'll get caught up in like the hustle culture, the
right,
hustle and
right, right.
bustle, and sometimes you'll just feel so burned out.
Yeah,
And if you're burned out, it's kind of hard to help other people. So
it's a fact.
I always try to like take time for myself, whether that's again listening to music, drawing, crocheting is what I'm trying to do right now. But
Crochet, okay.
yeah, but just trying to take time for yourself too.
Yeah,
That way you're at the highest level that you can be. So that way you're able to help other people.
yeah, that's really good. Like, this is gonna sound corny, but like, I have a. Have you heard of Super Nintendo?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to age myself, so you know what I mean. But there was a time I was going through a lot of stuff, and I would
Mhm.
just like crack out the Super Nintendo, and I would just
Mhm.
be playing that, just reminding
Mhm.
me of when I was a kid. I was
Mhm.
playing like I played Aladdin till nausea.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's good. There's something those things, and it's a video game, but it did make me present, and it
Yes.
allowed me to visit
Yes.
my childhood in
Yes.
this in essence because
Mhm.
you want to remain childlike. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
Life try to
Yes.
force you to be an adult so
Mhm.
bad,
Mhm.
and yes, adulting is a real thing, but at the end
Mhm.
of the day, keep that essence in you, keep your imagination fresh, keep your
Yes.
creativity flowing,
Yes.
so that you could just let go and just allow
Mm-hmm.
allow whatever allow God to work through
Yes.
you. You get what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
When you're in your gap year,
Mm-hmm.
you've done a lot, you've had a lot of different experiences. Has
Mm-hmm.
any of these experiences changed perhaps what you might consider going to school for?
Mm-hmm. Actually, yes. So
Okay.
so before I definitely was like, I want to go to school of psychology. My end goal is to be like a pediatric occupational therapist. That's what I
Okay.
want to do.
Wow.
But definitely through my activism, it's definitely made me think how I can incorporate my activism to what I want to do. I know like before when I was going to go to college, I was like, okay, I need to like study like biology and then I'm going to like be a doctor and that's what I want to do. And it's kind of a little bit what I want to do still. But now I want to know, now I know that I can also incorporate my activism within my career. Like there doesn't have to be like a set career, like a set goal, I suppose.
Yeah.
You're able to still incorporate the things that you love in
Right,
your
right,
career. It
right,
doesn't have
right.
to be like an end all be all.
Yeah, you don't gotta get a degree in activism.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like your part of you, it's in you.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
I know I have to continue activism. Like
Right,
it
right,
might
right.
look a little bit different, but I know I have to keep advocating for
So you mentioned medical psychology.
people.
So what do you like? Where are you thinking of landing on though?
That's a good question. Probably, I feel like I might want to do psychology because there's ways, like, as a psychologist, that I can help people too and still incorporate my activism within it. Yeah, just like helping people, like, find their best version of themselves. As cliche as that sounds, I feel like
Right.
I'm still able to, um, yeah, give advice and still able to have my activism within psychology. Whether that's, yeah, again, like dismantling just a bunch of bias somebody might have,
Right, right.
or finding to love the blackness within themselves
Right,
because there is
right.
like a lot of negative messages that
Yeah.
black isn't beautiful, which isn't true. Black is amazing.
Right.
So whether it's somebody just realizing the power within themselves, I feel like I'll be able to really do as a psychologist.
Gotcha. Um, is there anyone like in your family or anyone like that that might that, or let me. I mean, I like to say there's a starting five of the college going experience of like your educational journey. Who would you say is your starting five? Like when I mean my starting five, I'm talking about like old heads, like you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
mentors, things like that. Who would you say? I mean, this is just to kind of give a nod to students who may struggle in identifying those people that can help them along this path. In terms of people, adults like that have
Adults,
had,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, my family has like a long line of educators.
Okay.
So my mom and dad both went to college. They're both physicians, so they
Okay.
kind of helped me with the college experience. I know my great grandmother, though I didn't get to meet her, she was an educator too, actually here in UT Austin, and
Wow.
while she was an educator, she actually helped fight for civil rights. So
Right,
that
right.
also shows how I can
Wow.
combine activism with your
Wow.
career too. Yeah.
Wow.
I was really fortunate to be able to have a lot of educators within my family,
Yeah.
and they've really helped me be able to shape my college career.
Awesome. So generational legacy,
Yes.
everything packed in.
Yes.
That's awesome. All right. So to wrap it up,
Mhm.
we like to ask people just quick fire questions. I'm just gonna ask you one
Okay.
because a lot of things you said are just so great, and I
Yeah.
think All right. One question. If you could say one thing to your high school self,
Ooh.
what would that be?
Ooh, that is a good question. Honestly, I would just say enjoy the now and just be present with yourself, and it's gonna be okay. Because I remember in high school, I was just always worried about what will happen, or like I have to do all these different extracurriculars in order to go to the right college, and this is the plan that I'm gonna have. And I just wish I was just like, just be you. You are enough. You are more than enough, actually. And just enjoy the present moment. You will have the friends that you need to help support you. You will find your community, and you will be successful, and you will succeed. So yeah, I would just say just be in the present moment. Let the opportunities come, and don't stress.
Awesome, man. This was excellent. Enjoy speaking. High five. Yeah.
Thank
You're
you.
doing great things. Keep doing what you're doing. And let people know where they can find you on social, how they can stay connected with you, and plug anything you want to plug. You got it.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at smartdancer5678. And yeah, that's that's it.
All right, great. We out.